This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bill Tipton Field at Carl Albert High School, and we are down to 2. It is the Carl Albert Titans taking on the Duncan Demons. Now, it's not so simple as winner take all in this game. The stakes are this. If Carl Albert wins, they do go to state. Duncan's season is over, and they will have dethroned the defending 5A state champions. If Duncan wins, then we play tomorrow at this field at 2 o'clock. Yes, some Sunday afternoon high school baseball. Not too many sports can be played on a Sunday for high school, but baseball with rain delays is one of them, and we had rain delays, of course, pushing this back to a Saturday afternoon as the Thursday there was rain. Same thing happened last year here at the Carl Albert Regional. Carl Albert won their game against Duncan yesterday by a score of 11-1 in a run rule. Duncan since beat Ardmore earlier today, so they've already been out in the sun for a couple hours, but they did beat Ardmore to get to this point. They won via 8-run run rule, 10-2. And so the matchup is set. Advantage for Duncan that they didn't have in their game against Carl Albert, who was led by their ace pitcher, Cash Ferris. Duncan did not use their ace pitcher, Brance Garrett. They will in this game. And so it will be an interesting challenge for Carl Albert going up against a Division I pitcher, something that usually other teams have to do when they play against Carl Albert when Carl Albert's throwing Cash Ferris out on the mound. All right, my name is Jordan Ray. Very happy to be with you, and we look forward to having this game for you. Before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and get some commercials in. You are watching the Carl Albert Titan Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
And welcome back to Bill Tipton Field here at Carl Albert High School. So we're about to bring you Carl Albert versus Duncan. And Carl Albert, one win away from getting to state as they take the field. All right, here's the batting order for Duncan. Bryson Brookshire will be in right field batting leadoff. Eli Ramirez, the center fielder, bats second. Chase Barnum bats third at shortstop. Chago Barnum, who another good game at the plate earlier today. Blake Barnard at first base will bat cleanup. Jackson Pogue, the catcher, bats fifth. Preston Giles will be moved to second base and bats sixth. Jeffrey Cross, third baseman, bats seventh. Cole Lynch will DH and bat eighth, and Ryland Samuels will bat ninth in right field. This is the normal lineup that Duncan uses. They just, from time to time, will move guys around position-wise, of course, and they have to, with the pitcher and everything else. For the Carl Albert Titans, that'll look something like this. From left to right field, you have the same outfield they've been using. Ryan Ray in left, Mason Novotny in center, Chase Lashley in right. The infield will be a little different. Mr. Randall will be at third base in this game. Hutch Russell still at shortstop. Brody Henson still at second. Tanner Norman at first. The battery, once again, Jackson Brown will be catching for this third game these last 2 days. And the reason why Mr. Randall's at third is Sammy Gonzalez will be on the mound pitching for Carl Albert. And we will see Carl Albert warm up right now. And while we're waiting, we want to thank Super Subs for being our banner sponsor of the 2023 Carl Albert Regional, brought to you in part by Super Subs, located at 2150 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Try the new summertime special featuring a chicken salad sandwich on a toasted croissant. All right, the title sponsor will be Bobby Lewis. And Rose State will be our top of the inning sponsor. And we appreciate all our sponsors. We were going to mention more. As Carl Albert gets ready to pitch, and Duncan gets ready to hit. He'll be Bryson Brookshire, the right fielder, to lead things off for the Demons. Will the regional end in this game, or will we play tomorrow? We are going to find out. And here is Sammy Gonzalez's first pitch. It's outside for a ball.
Duncan, number 6, Bryson Brookshire.
1-0 pitch, and that is fouled off. That's a BSN Sports foul ball. BSN Sports brought to you by Caleb Price, the foul ball sponsor at BSN Sports, and that will move the count to 1-1. Gonzalez pitched some against Piedmont, which was a disaster pitching-wise, the second Piedmont game from last week for Carl Albert. See how he does here. He gets behind the count, 2-1. Again, my name's Jordan Ray, and I'm going solo right now, so bear with me. However, I hope to have a few interesting guests coming on. Count goes to 3-1. Both teams wearing white, by the way. We've seen multiple games yesterday where teams are wearing black, both teams. That pitch is fouled away, so another BSN Sports foul ball, and the count goes full. The Titans and the Demons, the last two 5A state champions. Only one can be it this year, if even that. And that's a strikeout. Good location by Gonzalez. That's a Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Coffin specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. So one away for the catcher, or the center fielder, for Duncan Eli Ramirez. And Ramirez, first pitch, pops it up. And it will be the Hutch fielding it for out number 2. Before I could change much, here's what we have. Eli Ramirez, the freshman, was the out there, and now the batter, Shago Barnum. And you have to be happy for Carl Albert that he is up to bat with no one on base. In fact, even with 2 outs, that might make it a little easier for Gonzalez to pitch around him. First pitch is outside for a ball. And Barham hits one hard to right. And it's fielded nicely there for Carl Albert. That is Chase Lashley. I'm sorry, that's the left field. That's Ryan Ray with the out. And we are done with the first inning. Your score is 0-0. I'm sorry, we're done with the top of the first. Let's talk about the bottom of the first. For the Carl Albert Titans, similar batting order than what they've used the previous 2 games, with one exception we'll get to here in a moment. Mason Novotny leads off at center field. Sammy Gonzalez pitching now, bats second again. Tanner Norman, the first baseman, bats third. Hutch Russell, the shortstop, bats cleanup. Ryan Ray, who made that diving catch a moment ago in left field, bats fifth. Brody Hinson, another senior for him, bats sixth. He wants to play next week. Chase Lashley in right field, bats seventh. Mr. Randall will be in the field playing third base. He normally courtesy runs for Carl Albert, but he'll be playing third base in this game and batting as well, batting eighth. And Jackson Brown batting ninth at the catcher spot. And, of course, we are seeing that from Mr. Randall because Sammy Gonzalez pitching. The Duncan fielders look like this. From left to right, Samuels in left, Ryland Samuels, Eli Ramirez, who's been in center field the entire time for him, Bryson Brookshire, who moves around some as he plays also some second base, but he's in right field today. The infield, Jeffrey Cross, normally the third baseman, still at third base. Shago Barham, the shortstop, at short. Preston Giles moved back to second base. Blake Barner, the cleanup hitter, will be at first base. The battery for Duncan looks like this. Jackson Pogue, the catcher. And then the pitcher for Duncan, and this is the interesting one. First time we've seen out in the field, I believe, in this regional, as this is Duncan's fourth game, Brance Garrett. And he is committed to play baseball along with a couple other of his teammates to Murray State, so he's a Division I pitcher.
Bottom half of the first inning. Number 4, Mason Novotny.
All right, our bottom of the inning sponsor is La Herencia Grill. More about them as we go forward. And then leading off for Carl Albert, Mason Novotny. Of course, this is a lefty pitcher for Duncan, and he has really good stuff. We'll see what the Carl Albert hitters can do. Well, first pitch not so good, and I didn't change the count from the last inning, so good on me because we can immediately go to 1-0. Duncan faced elimination against Ardmore, but that's not quite the same as facing elimination against Carl Albert. Good second pitch there for a strike for Garrett. Count goes 1-1. Outside 2-1. So Novotny not taking a swing yet. Obviously he would like to see pitches, as would his teammates. And here's the 2-1 delivery. And that catches the corner for a strike. So the count goes 2-2. It's a bit wide strike zone out there, perhaps. We'll see if he keeps pounding the outside part of the strike zone. Does Garrett? 2-2 pitch is high, and we go to a full count. So we've seen 5 pitches, and no swings yet from Novotny. Here's a 6th pitch. So something will have to happen unless he takes a swing. Well, even then, if he does, it'll be a foul ball. We keep doing it again. Swing and a miss. Another Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout.
Number 39, Sammy Gonzalez.
And we have one out here at the bottom of the first inning. Sammy Gonzalez now the batter for Carl Albert. Pitching today, of course. So we'll see how he adjusts to the strike zone. Garrett's first pitch. First pitch swinging for Gonzalez, and he fouls it off. 0-1 now the count. Duncan, again, I'll say this a few times throughout the broadcast, trying to force what will be a Game 7 of the regional. And Gonzalez hits that one into foul territory, and it will stay out of play. And Gonzalez finds himself down the count 0-2. Delivery. Gonzalez stays alive with another BSN Sports foul ball. BSN Sports, the foul ball sponsor. Again, they're brought to you by Caleb Price at BSN Sports. Again, we are yet to see a base runner. Gonzalez trying to get aboard here, trying to stay alive. He fouls it off again. And we are staying at 0-2. All right, here is Garrett's 0-2 delivery again. And Gonzalez hits this one in play. It's going to be caught by the second baseman Giles for Duncan. And we now have 2 gone. And we will have a lefty versus lefty matchup. We'll see how Tanner Norman does against a lefty pitcher. And that's a controversial pitch. Someone was going to be upset with that call. It's called a ball. So it's the Duncan fans not happy with that. Want to know the count? And this ball is hit into, looks like foul territory, but it may be caught. And it is. Barham, the shortstop, with the catch. And pretty quick work done by Mr. Garrett, the pitcher for Duncan. And we have played 1 inning. We remain scoreless. You're watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we take pride in taking care of our community. When we hit the road, we're fully prepared to solve your plumbing issues. We're family owned, and we are the standard for plumbing service. With a team full of champions, being the best plumbers in Oklahoma is just part of the job. So when we show up, you can rest easy, knowing that whatever the issue may be, we can handle it and make you a happy Champion customer. Contact Champion Plumbing today.
And welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Carl Albert versus Duncan and the Carl Albert Regional. Jordan Ray, again, hoping to have some guests for you. And that would include, maybe at the very end of the broadcast, victorious coach Ryan Whiteley if Carl Albert can win this game. For Duncan, Blake Barnard stepping up to the plate. Cleanup hitter. First pitch from Sammy Gonzalez, low for a ball. Gonzalez, only a junior. I say only a junior because he played a lot last year, so he's a very experienced player. Ground ball to Henson, and it gets past Henson for the first base runner. See, Henson had a shot at that. A replay brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams. And Jackson Pogue will be hitting now for Duncan. Catcher. Very close. Henson had it. Bunt by Pogue. Gonzalez will field it, take the out at first to Norman. And we have our first out of the inning.
Now batting number 27, Preston Giles.
Here's Preston Giles pitching, or hitting, sorry. Giles, the second baseman, and we got one out now with runner in scoring position for the Demons. Field umpire having to talk with Gonzalez. Not sure what's about, but we're going to resume here, so nothing too big. Swing and a miss there, so for a strike. It's an interesting contrast as we now see base runners with Barnard at second base, standing right by Hutch Russell. You can see it near the middle of your screen. They look like they're wearing identical uniforms, not just because they're both wearing white, but red numbers and stuff. Wouldn't have that in football or basketball, but baseball, you can get away with it. Especially when one guy's wearing a helmet. And that's a good pitch from Gonzalez. He locates it well. Count goes 0-2. Can Gonzalez finish him off? Softly hit ground ball. Norman fields it, flips it to Gonzalez. And then they make a mistake on the play, and then Brown can't catch it, and Duncan has a run in. As Barnard scores from second there, and that was pretty incredible. I don't know if I can get any of it on the replay there. Just the very end where you saw Brown couldn't handle the catcher. So two mistakes made there by Carl Albert, as that should have been an easy out at first, and then you'd have a base runner at third with two outs. Instead, the runner at first that should have been out is safe. And the runner at second scores, and Duncan with a 1-0 lead. So that's one of the worst defensive sequences I've seen from Carl Albert. This is cross batting now for Duncan. Pitch in the dirt, but handled well. So the first big break goes to the Demons, and they lead Carl Albert by a score of 1-0. Pitch is fouled off for a VSN Sports foul ball. And now push the count to 1-2. Gonzalez looking for his first strikeout. Instead, on the 1-2 pitch, Cross stays alive. Throw back to first, not in time. And again, the 1-2 pitch from Gonzalez. And again, it's hit foul. So we've had a lot of BSN Sports foul balls this regional. Don't see anything changing here in this game. Pitch is inside, ball 2. Here's Gonzalez again looking for the strikeout, and he'll get it. First strikeout for Sammy Gonzalez. That's a Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout, and we now have 2 outs here in the inning. Cole Lynch, the designated hitter, now the batter. This is the Rose State top of the second inning. And the inside corner there for Gonzalez leads to strike 1. Rose State want to get college credit while still in high school. At Rose State College, high school students can earn up to 27 tuition-free credit hours of college credit through concurrent enrollment. And that pitch is fouled away. BSN Sports foul ball and strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch. It's a good take there by Lynch, and count goes to 1-2. Gonzalez looking in the inning here. Pitches outside, and we go to 2-2. And swinging at the high heat and striking out is Lynch. And that will do it, but a costly pair of defensive mistakes by Carl Albert on one play leads to a run for Duncan. They now lead the Titans 1-0. And you are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures, the only inflation worth paying for.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, happy to be with you. And we're now heading to the La Herencia, bottom of the second inning. La Herencia, the best Mexican food in the Mid-Del area, whether it's dine and carry out using Grubhub or catering. Just eat their delicious food, located at 6811 Southeast 15th Street next to Jimmy's Egg. Call them at 405-931-3154. All right, Carl Albert, they went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. So now will be Hutch Russell batting to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Russell had a home run against Ardmore in the first game here yesterday. So here's Garrett pitching for Duncan. Looked pretty good in the first inning. And he gets ahead in the count here in the second. But I want to also thank Bobby Lewis for being our title sponsor. You see him in the lower right corner. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Del City. About the same distance both offices are to here. Russell with a good take there. Count goes 1-1. See how well the Titans shake off that tough break, giving up that run. And it may not be a matter of shaking that off. It may just be a matter of can they figure out Garrett, as Garrett gets ahead in the count there against Russell 1-2. Again, Brant Garrett, Murray State commit, will sign with them next week. And he was not out in the sun like his teammates were earlier today. Russell tries to stay alive, and nice defensive swing, and that leads to a base hit. So Carl Albert's first base runner, really good hitting there by the Hutch. And here is Ryan Ray. Ray with a good catch, top of the first inning. Hopes to keep a Carl Albert run here going on offense, as their leadoff guy gets aboard with some really good hitting. And Ray pops one up, it will go foul. So it'll be a long BSN Sports foul ball and a strike 1. We will see if Brant Garrett, the Duncan pitcher, has a good pickoff move. If Hutch Russell gets much of a lead, about a medium lead there, does Hutch have. You still got to be careful with the lefty pitcher, and he knows it. That pitch is low, ball 1. Ryan Ray, you got to be pretty good to be the 5th hole hitter for Carl Albert. And there's the pickoff move for Garrett. Maybe not his best pickoff move, but we'll see, as Russell got back easily. Pitch is fouled off. Another BSN Sports foul ball and a strike. So the count goes 1-2. See if Garrett tries to get that outside corner again. He does. The umpire kind of took his time, but it is a called strike 3 for the first out. A Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. And Brody Hinson now the batter, another senior for Carl Albert. This one was close, and Russell gets back in time. Yep, that probably was a better pickoff move from Garrett. We'll see if he tries to do it again. And that pitch is outside for a ball. First pitch to Hinson. At some point, will Carl Albert send Russell? Doesn't look like it right now. Hinson fouls that pitch off for a strike. Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. Count evens at 1. And Russell may be picked off here, but then the throw is high to second, And he gets in safely. Let's see if we can see that again from the beginning. You can see why a lefty has such a good pickoff move here. But the throw from the first baseman was high to the shortstop, and Russell was able to get back in. That replay brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams. So I don't know if they would call an error on the first baseman, Barnard, as his throw to Barham was high. And the Duncan coach will have a talk to the umpire about it. So we'll see if this ends up mattering here. Grant Oliver, the Duncan coach, also assistant football coach, just like Ryan Whiteley is for Carl Albert. All right, Garrett taking his time, and that leads to a timeout called by the home plate umpire. So against the lefty pitcher, Carl Albert took a chance as they sent Hutch Russell on a steal, and he was able to beat out the throw after a pickoff attempt was made that went from pitcher to first baseman to shortstop. The throw was too high. Otherwise, they probably would have had him. That's a call to strike. And now Henson has to be in protect the plate mode. See, it's down the count 1-2. And you could hear some pop with that one, so no surprise. You expect Garrett to at least touch the high 80s, if not higher. And there's a defensive, bit of a two-strike defensive swing, but a good one as he fouls that pitch off. That's a BSN Sports foul ball. All right, once again, a 1-2 count. Garrett to Henson, way outside there. Count goes 2-2. Russell not getting much of a lead at second. Pitch is fouled off for a BSN Sports foul ball. Count stays 2-2. So we see Hutch Russell will take a few steps behind second base and as well as taking a lead, and then he'll step forward once Garrett begins his, or a little before Garrett begins his windup. 2-2 pitch, and he went chasing, and it's a swing and strike 3. See that again from the D1 pitcher, Garrett. It was out of the strike zone, but it's too fast to lay off of. See that on the Big O Pork and Dreams replay. Chase Lashley, another left-handed batter, actually, interestingly enough. The batter here, he has hit a home run not too long ago, hit one against Piedmont. Takes a home run rip there for a strike. So a bit of a controversy with Hutch Russell not being called out at second. So it means that at least Garrett has to face one extra batter this inning. But it may not matter on the scoreboard here. That was close. He takes it for a ball. So ended up being a good take by Lashley. Mr. Randall is, by the way, due up next for Carl Albert. And yes, Mr. is his first name. We'll see if he bats this inning or the next one. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that is low for a ball. So Lashley working the count in his favor at the moment, 2-1. And that pitch went above his head for ball 3. And Carl Albert's most inexperienced hitter in the lineup is due up next. I don't know if that even enters into Garrett's thinking. Well, I think as a lefty, he'd want to get the lefty out. So here's a 3-1. Good inside pitch there on swing and a miss, strike 2 for Lashley. So a full count. Maybe Carl Albertson's Hutch, but I doubt it. And here's the payoff pitch. Another swing and a miss strikeout. Another Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. Very impressive so far is Brance Garrett, and that will do it in the second inning. Your score is Duncan 1, Carl Albert 0, and you are watching Carl Albert Baseball for the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We want to make your next.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
All right, welcome back to Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, happy to be joining you. Also happy to be joining us is another Jordan, and it is also royalty at Carl Albert. That would be Jordan Price. Coach Price, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here. Thank you for the kind words, man. Look at this day.
Yeah, not as hot as yesterday. Yesterday was brutal for stretches there. Pitch is fouled off. So, as you probably know, I think I told you, BSN Sports Foul Ball sponsored by your brother, Caleb Price. So we appreciate him for helping us out as well. And you, of course, graduated from Carl Albert in 2007, and you were part of their first state title team in basketball and baseball, correct?
That's right.
Swung on there. Right to Henson. Gets the easy out to Tanner Norman at first, so 1 out away here. I don't know if you've been able to follow this Carl Albert team very much.
I have. You know, we have a few guys that are on the basketball team, and of course, just being an alumni and brothers played as well. We try to stay in contact and keep up. We really like this team. They got a chance to take it deep.
Yeah, well, 1 win away from getting to state, but they have quite the challenge. Duncan has saved their best pitcher for this game instead of going head-to-head with Cash Ferris yesterday. And what do you think about that? Usually you put ace against ace, and that's not what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Obviously, we're going to see if it pays off for them. But that's the challenge in high school baseball, right, is you usually have an ace and then mostly a bullpen full of athletes that pitch, right? So it's all about managing that guy, and I don't know. There's a lot of game left here, and the pitch count seems to be quickly rising.
Yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to see Duncan's pitcher, but then there's a good strikeout. And that Duncan batter, that's Ryland Samuels, was a bit demonstrative about it. And that's something you have to be careful about, right? When you strike out, you don't agree with it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, and definitely this early in the game. My advice to that guy is it's way too early in the game to be talking to the umpire about balls and strikes. He's possibly going to have 2 more ABs later in the game, and these guys at the high school level, they're going to hold a grudge for your at bats coming later. So I wouldn't really suggest that.
So this should be the top of the order now for Duncan. Bryson Brookshire, who was retired his first at bat. Takes a pitch there for a ball.
Yeah, and to your comment earlier about getting to see the pitcher from Duncan, looks like to have a pretty good fastball. Looks to be a really good athlete. Obviously from the left side, you don't see that a lot at the high school level. Makes those guys pretty unique, but I'm sure knowing these guys over at Carl Albert's coaching staff, they've probably talked to the guys about jumping on the fastball early and then probably trying to get the pitch count up and work great ABs. And so far they've done an okay job. We'll see how it kind of materializes through the middle innings.
Gonzalez pitches outside there. Well, it'll be interesting to watch Jordan. Sammy Gonzalez, basically this is the second big game for Carl Albert in this regional, so he's basically, the statement's being made by Coach Whiteley, he's the second pitcher for this team. And obviously will matter if you get to state, as that pitch is fouled off for another BSN Sports foul ball, removing the count to 3-2. But, that's something that obviously you need. I'm sure your state championship team had it. You can't just have one good starting pitcher if you want to win state with it being 3 games in 3 days.
That's absolutely right. That hits very close to home because I think I was probably one of those guys that was the next guy up. We had a really good pitcher. Dustin Andrews was an all-stater.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think about that call?
We tried to get him on the mound as much as we could because the next guy up was just a little old basketball player, you know what I mean?
That's right. Just a basketball player. Looks like Sammy Gonzalez quick pitch there. We have the instant replay going. Big O Pork and Dreams instant replay. And we are going to go ahead and take a break. More with Jordan Price, former Carl Albert baseball stud. And more of this game. You are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Welcome back to another fine Saturday morning here at the Johnson House, where the team at Champion Plumbing is about to perform one of their classic pipelining maneuvers. Watch their technique as they begin pouring in that epoxy.
Oh, wow.
Didn't miss a drop. That, ladies and gentlemen, are why these guys are the champs.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
Welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray and Jordan Price joining you. This is the La Herencia bottom of the 3rd inning. Duncan leads 1-0. And Carl Albert looking to catch up a little bit here. And they will have Mr. Randall batting, who normally is a courtesy runner for him. But he's in the lineup today playing third base with Sammy Gonzalez pitching.
See, to me, these are critical ABs by the bottom part of your order. If they can go up and be productive and kind of steal several pitches from an ace, that really helps your lineup throughout the game if you can get into that pitch count.
And we know Mr. Randall can run, so we'll see if he can put something in play. Takes the first 2 pitches for a ball, so showing a good eye there.
And to your point, it looks like the corners are in, playing on the cut of the grass. bunt might be out with them playing there, but maybe some contact. It's an advantage to get those guys to crash in.
Pitch a bit up. They were calling that outside strike earlier, but I think that pitch was too high for one, so count goes 3-0. So
looks like taking a pitch right here. I peeked down to Coach Whiteley. He gave him the take this pitch sign, so right on cue.
And that's a call that strike is that Garrett's been getting a lot. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I think that it's just that's been in what he's been using so far.
Well, and seeing that, the bottom part of the zone was popular when I was playing, and now it seems to be creeping up around the letters.
And that's one you like to have back right there, I would guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an opportunity for a guy with speed to get on base. You almost want to auto take if you've got speed at 3-1 count. You almost want to make him throw you one.
Yeah, especially if you're not in the lineup that much as a hitter. He's not getting the at-bats that the other guys are. Randall does stay alive now with 2 strikes, as that pitch will be a foul ball, a BSN Sports foul ball, and we'll repeat the full count.
And 6 pitches here for this AB. This is the 8-hole here. He's got you 6 pitches into this guy's pitch count. I mean, if this leads to an on base here, this is an absolutely great at bat.
We'll see if he can get on base. Gotta like the yellow gloves though for Randall. Here's the payoff pitch. And that one is also sliced foul over the Duncan bullpen. So credit for Carl Albert for having this field ready to go yesterday after a lot of rain on Thursday. Jordan, you came up here and saw some of it. How does this field different than maybe when you were playing? Or is it different that much?
A lot the same. It's still a very hitter-friendly ballpark, as you can see, not very big. They've installed some turf around the mound here, which really helps with field care, field maintenance.
Yeah.
Not a lot of change. It looks like they may be putting a center field hitter's eye in.
Another foul ball.
I will say I can't miss the opportunity to compliment these guys. I mean, being a baseball coach, it's a little bit different than being a basketball coach. We don't really have to maintain the hardwood before our games. You know, the other day you guys were sitting up here and this place is underwater, and these guys they were running around like oil field employees getting this place ready to go. So a compliment to the staff here for sure.
That is a skill that baseball coaches have to have. And how about this at bat from Randall?
Yeah, I mean, this is an absolute win for Carl Albert right here. And at this point, maybe even if it doesn't result on an on base, getting 9 or maybe even 10 pitches out of this AB from your 8-hole. Watch when we get to the 6th inning. If his pitch count is up around 115 or run 120, he's got to come out of the game. I mean, at that point, you're putting his arm at risk, and he's got potential to play more baseball games after this. So, an 8-hole getting this deep. If this results on an on base, then it's an absolute game. It's a winning AB.
All right, we're going to do it again. Another full count pitch. Good take from Randall, and he draws a walk. Total win for Carl Albert there. And now Jackson Brown, who is the catcher for Carl Albert. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he has been DH'd for a lot in the games we've done on the Oklahoma Sports Network, but he has started to hit the ball better and better, and he had a good day at the plate yesterday. So,
well, in watching him earlier, he blocks the ball extremely well.
Yeah.
I talked to Coach Corey Milford on the phone the other night. They really like him for that fact. If you have a guy in high school that can do that for you, block baseballs, at this level, you're going to see much more pitches in the dirt than any other level, really.
Yep.
And if you've got a guy that can keep the ball in front, it's a big plus.
Also, we should check and see this matchup between Randall at the base pass. We have a bunt by Brown, a great bunt. Can he get to first on time? He can. It's a bunt single for Jackson Brown down the first base line. How about that? We got the tail end of this right now. We're going to show it to you one more time here on our Big O's instant replay, but just great placement there, Jordan.
Yeah, well, there's so many excellent things about that. I mean, to begin with, that's a fundamental decision, bunting the ball that direction with a guy on first. Now, early in the count right there, he probably had a sacrifice bunt on. And what he's doing early in the count is he's going to try to kind of steal one and get a hit out of it. If you bunt that ball foul, or if you foul tip it, you're still in a situation where you can get a sacrifice bunt done. I hate to harp on this, but these are absolutely winning ABs by the bottom of the lineup here.
We're now at the top of the line. By the way, Mason Hamilton is the courtesy runner for Jackson Brown, and now we have another Mason. There's a lot of Masons on this team, by the way. Novotny looking to bunt. He's the leadoff batter. You're familiar with him. He decided to take, because of I think it was a shoulder injury, he took a year off from basketball.
Yeah,
so we'll see if he comes back for you guys.
I'm really partial to this kid. We love him to death. When he had to leave baseball for ultimately an injury decision, really we miss being around him. I don't know if our team or our practice missed him more, because we just liked having him there.
Squaring to bunt again with one strike. He holds it back, and that will be ball one. I like the strategy, though, if you have base runners to bunt against an ace pitcher like Garrett.
Yeah, the decision here is a little risk-reward to me, because you understand this game with this guy on the mound. It's probably going to be low runs, so you probably try to get one when you can.
Still going to bunt. That's a tough one to try to bunt at there, I would imagine, Jordan. And he bunts a foul. Now he has 2 strikes.
Yeah, and the broadcast will show that the first baseman is playing, at about 45 feet. He's coming in trying to get that ball. So in that situation, you want to move up in the front of the box, bunt the ball to the third baseman, and make him throw it across the diamond.
Yeah, which they never do. That's why you do it. 1-2. Takes the inside pitch there. Count goes 2-2 to Novotny. Do you think he'll come back to basketball next year, or do you think he'll focus just on baseball?
Well, if he listens to this broadcast, I'm going to tell him I absolutely hope so. How about that?
I'll have to make sure we mention it to him. All right, he's going to swing away here at 2-2. And that's the pitch that's been called consistently by the umpire. That's strike 3 called there. It's the first out of the inning.
Now coming to the plate, number 30.
Our Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout.
39, Sammy Gonzalez.
Well, huge at bat here, because Sammy Gonzalez can make this a 3-1 game with one swing of the bat.
Well, and this is what you see a lot at the high school level. You see the guy pitching get a chance to hit. I love this about high school baseball, because he gets to be involved with the outcome in both sides.
Big cut there for a strike. And we mentioned Garrett as a pitcher for Duncan. He will be pitching again. He is going to go to Mercer State, and he's going to be a pitcher there. He's not a position player who sometimes pitches. That's probably how you would describe Gonzalez, though. That's why it's a tough pitching matchup for Carl Albert. It's the ace, and you could see that's good stuff there. And see guys swing and miss from Gonzalez, who had a towering home run to left field yesterday, no doubt about it. He had the trot and everything go working for him. He falls behind in the count here, 0-2. Sends one to the third baseman. He gets through the third baseman, and Randall should be coming around third to score. And he does. Time the game. The throw to second for Gonzalez is safe. And just good placement by Sammy Gonzalez, staying alive there.
This is one of my favorite things about high school baseball is the starting pitcher right there. He changes his approach, 0-2, puts the ball in play, and then if that's not enough, he reads the ball to third base and then gets an extra base for his team. I mean, I've got a youngest brother that is still in professional baseball. Jared he doesn't get a chance to hit, or else he would do something like that, try to get an extra base.
Now Carl Albert's got to be thinking, let's get some more here, and they got a good guy at the plate, Tanner Norman. It is a lefty versus lefty matchup, but Tanner Norman is not your typical left-handed hitter.
That's right, and if I'm in that dugout, this is kind of the danger zone for Duncan with Hutch Russell hitting behind him. So you kind of can't afford to pitch around right here.
Pitch is high for a ball. The third baseman for Duncan is Jeffrey Cross, and he had a play at that ball, I thought, but it just was hit in a good location. And again, that's why you want to put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
That's absolutely right. That's what I was going to contribute is at this level, it's really valuable to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. In other levels, you hear the conversation around the ultimate result, you know, which is not necessarily considering a strikeout, you know, the worst case for your at-bat. You want to try to slug, hit the ball, get on second, things like that. But at this level, with the fielding the way it is, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes is pretty valuable.
1-1 pitch grounded past the first baseman. That's going to score 2. Novotny scores, Gonzalez scores, and Carl Albert is now ahead 3-1. Here we got the full replay. You can see Norman pulling that ball down the first base line. It got past the first baseman, and Carl Albert has the lead. This instant replay brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams. Stop by Big O's Pork and Dreams at 6003 Southeast 15th Street from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and enjoy some really good food. And here is Hutch Russell. Takes a strike there, so just put the ball in play, good things happen.
Something I really like about Hutch and his approach is he's been working on being on balance for a few years. He's a guy that used to really lunge and try to get his front foot out, but balance looks like he's improving a lot.
I'm going to say he swung at that pitch and went around, so Hutch will actually find himself down the count here 0-2. Well, you're probably most familiar with him out of anyone. He's been a rotation player for you guys on the basketball team for the last 2 years.
Yeah, Hutch is a really tough-minded kid. We like him a lot because he's a basketball, baseball guy. That's what all of us Price kids were. So we like him a lot. Hope the best for him. First AB, he has a tendency to really lunge and really probably overswing a little bit. It's kind of what he's been working on the past couple years is being on balance and being compact. And the other thing about him is he plays so much baseball that he knows that. So he's going to be prepared right here. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't change his approach just a little bit and be a good player.
1-2. I'll tell you, the 2-strike hitting for Carl Albert has been pretty good as they've gotten used to the pitcher. As they stay alive there, the chopper to first, and it's bobbled, and no one's going to be out. Norman advances to third. That's probably going to go as an error for Blake Barnard, the Duncan first baseman. And hits keep coming for Carl Albert.
And
now
real
we're going to have
quick,
a meeting on the mound.
I don't think any of this is by accident. Before this inning, Coach Whitley had a meeting over here, and Corey Milford, pitching coach for Carl Albert, is a former teammate of mine. I know exactly what these guys were talking about mid-inning, okay?
Yeah.
He got them all together. They needed to change their approach, obviously, and start putting the ball on the ground. If you've got a good guy on the mound, you have to make the rest of the players play, okay? So putting the ball in play makes, 4 other high school players contribute to the game. You don't want to get dominated by, like you said, a really talented pitcher. And in this inning, you can see it's very obvious the approach changed. No strikeouts, aside from the Novotny strikeout on a couple bunt attempts, but putting the ball in play and seeing what happens. It's really intelligent. That's great coaching, as a matter of fact, and it's good adjustment by Carl Albert.
Hey, you know what? Even on the Novotny strikeout, I like that. Once he took the pitch, he immediately went to the dugout. Made no indication that he was upset with the call. Ryan Ray will be the batter for the Titans. We have runners at the corners. Still just 1 out, so a chance to add another run here with good situational hitting. He's going to bunt, and that's going to probably lead to a run. It will. Very good situational hitting for Ray. The 5th place hitter bunting, and it makes it 4-1. And we got the replay for you here.
With 2 outs, brings up number 9.
Just such skill are showing different ways, Jordan.
Yeah, it's been their approach all season. Earlier this year, we were fortunate to hear Coach Whitley speak a little bit, and he mentioned this style of baseball. And the style of baseball at Carl Albert has changed over the years. I'm old enough to remember when, JT Realmuto was here hitting 30 home runs.
Yeah.
That's quite a different brand of baseball. But hey, if it produces wins, it doesn't really matter.
First pitch swinging for Henson, sends one to the deep part of the outfield, and it's going to drop. center fielder for Duncan Ramirez couldn't hold on to. It's going to lead to another Carl Albert run, and we'll give him a double. Brody Henson with a double there. Carl Albert is having a big inning. Jordan, your good luck for him.
I guess that means I need to be on the broadcast the entire time right
now.
Yeah,
might as well.
Look, driving in, I mean, every former baseball player will tell you, he knows where the wind is blowing. So driving in, even parking in my parking spot, I could tell that the wind is blowing right at that, Davis Paint and Collision sign right there, no free ads. And
we'll have to talk to him about that.
He puts it right in that position. Good approach, results in a crooked number.
Taking a strike there is Lashley. Now, Lashley was platooning some for Carl Albert, batting against right-handed pitchers, but he's facing the ace lefty here. Takes a strike. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Inside really jammed him there and gets that 0-2 as that's a BSN Sports foul ball.
Speaking of the BSN Sports foul ball, on a day like today, I can promise you that the BSN foul ball sponsor is somewhere on the golf course. I can promise you that, and he's probably a few under.
Well, maybe you can mention to him to tune in. We'll take the traffic. You can tune in on his phone, of course.
I wouldn't be shocked if he had the speaker on the side of the golf cart, probably laughing at this right now.
Good take there from Lashley, and that's going to be called ball one. So when you were part of the team getting to stay, were you one of the starting pitchers? I never asked you that.
I was, yeah. I started more games my junior year. My senior year, I was probably our second starter right after Dustin Andrews. Dustin Andrews was an all-stater and played in college with me.
At Oklahoma Christian.
That's right, yeah. Dustin went to Seminole State, and then he ended up playing with me at Oklahoma Christian, which has been kind of a hotbed for several Carl Albert guys, since the 2007 kind of area. So,
well, Jared went there, right?
That's right, yeah. Jared played 6 seasons. He was a position player and a pitcher at Oklahoma Christian, as it's just popped foul to the catcher.
Very high foul ball. Pogue, the catcher, able to make it, so it's a foul ball out. And we lost track of the outs. Apologies, Eric. I forgot I was on the sacrifice bunt. So that is actually 3 outs. So big inning for Carl Albert, up 5-1. They give Sammy Gonzalez some run support. We'll go and take a break here. And you are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Jordan Price joining you here. And Carl Albert with a 5-run inning, bottom of the second, to take a 5-1 lead. Shago Barnum, the batter now, he had a home run against Cash Ferris. So that obviously shows he's got some ability. And what do you expect to see from, what do you hope to see from Sammy Gonzalez now that he has a lead?
Well, and that's perfectly put, because pitching with a lead is a bit of a soft spot in baseball. So after your offense goes out there and puts up a 5 spot, you have to throw strikes. You got to get in the zone early, make them put it in play. You have all the momentum. And about the time I say that, he goes to a 3-0 count. But
Well, I think they'll probably treat this hitter differently than most. 3-hole hitter. By the way, this is a big husky kid. I say it as a compliment. He plays shortstop. I don't know if I've seen a shortstop with that build.
That's right. Yeah, he actually ranged over here and caught a foul ball in foul territory. Pretty good athlete.
Yeah, one of those guys that he's a big guy, but he can move. And he fouls that pitch off, so another BSN Sports foul ball.
And in talking to Hutch throughout the year, this is one of his teammates in the summer. So
okay.
they play a lot of baseball together, which is what you see at this level.
I wonder which one doesn't play shortstop. He lifts one to center field, showing his power there, and it's gone on a full count pitch. Shago Barham with a big hit for Duncan, and they now make the score 5-2. We got the tail end of the swing there, and that is some raw power there, Jordan.
Yeah, that's to one of the deeper parts in the ballpark there.
Number 11, Blake.
The biggest key to that home run right there, Jordan, is being behind in the count.
Yep.
You know, getting ahead of a high school hitter and you can go to your breaking stuff is really important, especially after scoring 5 runs with a 5-1 lead. So Sammy needs to focus on the chest right here and get back in the zone.
That ball is hit foul. Blake Barner now the batter. So the count should go to 1-1. Well, for the second time, I mean, that's the only mistake for Cash Ferris yesterday, really. It was the home run he gave up to Barham. The pitch is fouled off for strike 2. Another BSN Sports foul ball. Made some solid contact with a roof somewhere, or the bleachers.
Sammy looks to be going to his curveball when he's ahead in the count. You see, if you can get ahead early, you know, I don't speak pitcher like my youngest brother does, but that's really effective. You can get in the zone early and go to that breaking pitch. Looks like a changeup right there, kind of what I was talking about for a strikeout.
Look at that again on the Big O's Pork and Dreams instant replay. So Pogue now the batter. That is a dynamic health clinic strikeout and the first out of the inning. And Jackson Pogue now hitting for Duncan, the catcher. Takes a pitch there, outside for a ball. Solid contact there to right center field, and that's going to hit the gap for extra bases for the catcher Pogue. And he'll stand up with a double.
With a 1-out double.
I'll lead the Preston Giles pick coming up next for Duncan. So Duncan trying to make a rally here.
Good approach right there with the off-speed pitch. A couple batters before, Sammy was going to that kind of get-me-over curveball is what we call it in the baseball business, and that's just kind of a curveball that lays over the middle part of the zone. Take it to the opposite field for a double. That's pretty good AB.
Morello, the courtesy runner for the catcher. Gonzalez gets ahead of this batter 0-1. Bring in Giles, one of the Duncan players who's played multiple positions in this regional. Basically, he can play anywhere on the infield. Here's Sammy's 0-1 pitch. Outside for a ball. And Carl Albert trying to avoid playing tomorrow on Sunday, where could even be some rain. I don't know if it'll be during that time, but it's scheduled to be at 2 o'clock if Duncan can come back and win. Bit of a mix-up there with Gonzalez and Brown. Has his pitch now. Outside for a ball.
I'm interested to know what the mix-up or maybe the rules are for white and white uniforms. You know, in basketball, this is an absolute no-no.
Same for football,
White on white. So I'm interested to know what the
we
circumstances are there.
We saw in the heats a lot of teams were in black uniforms yesterday. Del City, Ardmore both did. Duncan did. Carl Albert wore their red uniforms. That pitch is called for a strike, so we got a 2-2 count. Yeah, that is. I don't remember seeing that last year, but I guess in a regional you just have to kind of wing it.
Yeah, you got to think with maybe so many schedule changes that, the uniform situation, you're not going to, an umpire is not going to need to come out here and call a foul on white. So, the jerseys are, maybe makes it a bit more challenging for you and nobody else doing play-by-play.
You know what, though? You can tell them apart pretty quickly because just look for who's wearing the helmet. Gonzalez trying to pick off the base runner, and plenty safe. That's another thing we've seen in a regional, and you can see it with high school baseball. When you want to try to pick off a base runner, that can be very risky. We've seen some bad ones thrown. Two-two pitch to Hutch Russell. You need to make a quick throw here to Norman, and he will for a big out number 2. And the courtesy runner moves to third base, that being Murillo.
Good play by Hutch. What you can't see is he's trying to tie the runner to the bag. He's bouncing back and forth, trying to keep that runner tied down, moving back to his position, and then ultimately running to a forehand. It's not as easy of a play as he made it look.
No, a lot of shortstops at the high school level don't make that play.
Right. Yeah, and just the movement. I mean, that's another thing to show how much baseball he plays. Is he's able to tie the guy to the second base and then run and make a running forehand. Good play.
Inside pitch there's called the ball.
I'll give you a little inside on he and I's relationship. I was a shortstop, so he gets in my ear quite a bit about how much better of a shortstop he's going to be than me.
That ball is hit to right, and was it trapped? Yes, it was. So another run for Duncan as Lashley could not hold on to it. Tough play for him to make. That'll definitely go down as a base hit. Big 2-out hitting for Duncan, and they are back in this thing as the score is now 5-3.
That's always a really difficult play. The ball hit right at you. As an outfielder, you kind of have to trust your first step, and only he knows. If he gets a good first step, then you can go and try to make a play on that. In a 9-inning ball game, that's a completely different decision than a 7-inning game with metal bats. 9 innings, you let that ball drop, throw it to second. 7-inning game with metal bats, you kind of have to trust your first step, and if you have a nice first step, then you want to go ahead and dive for it, try to make that play.
First pitch there is a strike to designated hitter for Duncan. Pitch outside for ball. Count goes 1-1. Again, the hitter is Cole Lynch. So I'm curious, you say you played shortstop like Hutch. Did you bat left-handed by any chance, or you're righty?
No, I was a right-handed hitter, hit 3-hole at Oklahoma Christian and played shortstop for a long time.
This is to Hutch Russell. He can take it down at second, but he bobbles that one. Well, can't get them all. We're going to see that replay again, but Duncan gets another base runner. And that's kind of how they got their first run. You missed that one, Jordan, but that wasn't Hutch. That was Norman and Gonzalez botching a simple first baseman to pitcher toss, and that led to Duncan's first run. So another defensive mistake. We'll see if this leads to a run. And now you call him Coach Whitley. I call him Coach Whiteley. You might be right. Whichever one he is coming out right now. What do you think this meeting will be about?
Well, I think he's trying to slow the pace down a little bit. I mean, this is a pretty critical spot in the game right here. 2 runners on base. Guy coming to the plate, 2 outs. You're trying to put this inning in the books with the damage that has already happened. I think this is great coaching right here. If this were Coach Price in a basketball game, he's probably calling a full timeout here.
Mm-hmm.
As the referees come to bark at him and tell him to get back out there, he's probably taking as much time as he can, trying to cool down the guys and get them right. As you can see, very slow walk off the field.
Also looks like he's warming up a lefty reliever he likes to use a lot, Jackson Fixico.
Which is another thing about taking a mound visit at this juncture is you're trying to get your guy a little bit more time in the bullpen, right? So if things do go south, another couple of runs, he's got a couple extra pitches if you take that visit.
2 outs. Samuel squaring to bunt. This is the bottom of the order for Duncan, the 9th place hitter. Ryland Samuels, the left fielder. So real important for Gonzalez to get this out here. He falls behind the count 2-0.
Sammy going to the curveball seemingly quite a bit early in the count.
There's a 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. I heard some Carl Albert people say that you lost a little bit of velocity from last year. I wonder if that can happen when you're such a naturally good hitter and you work on your strength and your hitting skills, if that can lead to you losing some velocity.
Yeah, that's really hard to tell at this level just because these guys are mostly young athletes playing sports. You know, a lot of multi-sport athletes, it's really hard to kind of maintain velocity throughout all sports.
2-2 pitch inside. Well, the Carl Albert faithful wanted it, but that wasn't close to a strike. We have a full count, though, and so the Duncan base runners will take off on this pitch. 3-2 pitch is fouled. BSN Sports foul ball. I'll tell you, if it gets to a 3-2 pitch, most of the time it seems like that 3-2 pitch gets fouled.
Yeah, and that's typically what you see out of good programs. I mean, these are really competitive at-bats throughout the lineup. You know, no matter top of the lineup, bottom of the lineup. It's kind of a sign of a good program.
Gonzalez looks back the runner at second, that being Jeffrey Cross. Cole Lynch, the designated hitters at first base for the Demons. Of course, they're the defending champs. And that pitch is lifted to right field. Back is Lashley. He gets the out in right. And that will do it for the top of the 3rd inning. 2 more runs for Duncan. Your score is Carl Albert 5, Duncan 3. And you are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we take pride in taking care of our community. When we hit the road, we're fully prepared to solve your plumbing issues. We're family owned, and we are the standard for plumbing service. With a team full of champions, being the best plumbers in Oklahoma is just part of the job. So when we show up, you can rest easy, knowing that whatever the issue may be, we can handle it and make you a happy Champion customer. Contact Champion Plumbing today.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We are at Bill Tipton Field. Are you familiar with Coach Tipton?
I am, yeah. Really close with the Tiptons. Yeah, that brings back some great memories. His grandson, Caleb Heron, was an all-state player here. He went on to be the JUCO Player of the Year, actually, and played baseball at OU. So close with some Bill Tipton roots, and yeah, that brings back some good memories.
There's Mr. Randall now. He worked a walk. His last at-bat swings at the first pitch here, and it's dropped in foul territory. We don't have it on the view there because it's really at an angle, but there were 3 Duncan players there, and they couldn't corral it, so it's going to be a long strike. But that's a tough one. I mean, if you're competing in a close game, you want to get every out you can. I think that's the difference I'm noticing with the good programs and not so good one programs. The not so good programs will give up outs a lot on defense.
You're exactly right. And, you know, having played college and a little bit of professional baseball with with wooden bats, it's so critical to get 21, to only give them 21 outs with a metal bat. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're giving a lineup multiple opportunities with a metal bat, I mean that's the danger zone for a defense.
So this now count as 0-1, and that pitch way outside. And by the way, that was a tough play to make for whoever was trying to catch it for Duncan. I couldn't even tell it was the right fielder or the first baseman, because they all got together. It was really close.
Well, and another thing you're seeing that's contributing to that is they're reacting to a guy with speed. So you can see that the second baseman is playing middle of the infield. So that takes him away from any opportunity to catch a ball behind him.
That's a very good point. Count goes 1-2 on another BSN Sports foul ball. But Mr. Randall, again, he doesn't play or he doesn't get as many at-bats. He plays a lot as a courtesy runner. He doesn't get as many at-bats as the other players in the lineup, but he started things off drawing a huge walk last inning as Carl Albert batted around. And he fouls another pitch off, so he has really been battling against the ace pitcher for Duncan, Brant Garrett.
Yeah, and again, this is exactly what you want to see. I've been really impressed with his ABs today, getting in the box and competing. You know, his swing is really short. He knows what he's got. You know, he's got speed, and contact is his friend. So, plus for Carl Albert.
And that's in play, the third baseman. And that gets past the first baseman, and Randall should easily take second there as Cross's throw was not fielded by Barnard. I'd say that the throw may have been a little bit off, but I thought Barnard could have caught that.
Now comes to play number 28, Jackson.
So a break for Carl Albert. The defense for Duncan not getting it done at the moment, and here's Jackson Brown, the 9-hole hitter.
Again, I'm really impressed with the approach here. I mean, a team that is struggling on defense obviously got an ace on the mound. The approach changed in the third inning by Carl Albert. They start putting the ball in play, using some speed and athleticism, but contributing to a win here.
So here's Brown, the catcher. He got on base as well with a great bunt base hit. So I'm curious to see if he's going to try to do it here. But he took the first pitch for a ball.
Randall's ABs reminds me of if we were to put a guy in a basketball game and he takes 2 charges and dives on the ground and gets a loose ball and gets a couple rebounds. At the end of the night, he's not going to have 20 and 10, right? But
nope.
A guy like this getting on base a couple times, causing havoc on the base pass, you know, those are competitive plays.
And he has a chance for Carl Albert to get some of that back as they gave up 2 runs their last inning. They were pitching. Pitch is low there for a ball. Count goes 2-1 to Brown. So when you guys won state, by the way, back in 2007, did you pitch one of the games in the state tournament?
I did. I pitched the semifinals of that year.
That's like what you said, the second pitcher.
Well, and give credit to Wayne Dozier. He was our head coach, great head coach here at Carl Albert throughout the years. He specifically set up the rotation to where we could get Dustin Andrews back on the mound. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, Dustin goes and throws a one-hit shutout. We win 3-0.
Is his first game state?
No,
the final.
Dustin came back and pitched in the finals, the state championship game, and
you're
one
hit
hit
shutout
race
for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
tell him to this day that he owes me everything for taking that game in the semifinals and getting him to the finals. So I don't know if he sees it that way, but hopefully.
Well, that's a tough thing to do is when you're in a state tournament, 3 games in 3 days to save your ace for the championship game. You have to really have faith in your other pitchers. And that's going to be interesting to see if Carl Albert can get to state. Where do they pitch Cash Ferris? Swinging and miss there for Mason Novotny.
You know, that's right. And listening to Coach before the season, he talked a lot about the other parts of the game. And to us alumni, you know, it was interesting to hear because he knows that he has to massage, you know, that pitching rotation, and you're not always going to get your ace up there. So the entire team needs to be balanced.
And Novotny, who struck out his last at bat, falls behind here 0-2. Any thought of sending Randall, by the way?
Possibly. I'd like to see Mason, with a guy on second with speed, all you're looking for is a single here because a fast guy scores from second.
And what's the call there? It's going to be a foul ball. That was close, but I think that's the right call, and it's a BSN Sports foul ball, so it stays 0-2. And that's what Carl Albert can do that a lot of teams who I see struggle against, Cash Ferris, like most teams will. Just being able to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. And that skill has really helped him these last 2 innings. We'll see what they can do here. 0-2 to Novotny. And another strikeout for Garrett.
Yeah, Jordan, to your point, it's so important to put pressure on high school defenses. The other night I joked with Jared, my youngest brother, about the only baseball that I've really watched for the last 5 years is the Philadelphia Phillies with JT Realmuto and pro baseball with my brother Jared.
Yeah.
And so it's quite a bit different. Putting the ball in play at those levels results in an out,
Right.
And here we see, we've got 5 errors in this game and only 8 hits. If you think about that, that completely changes how you have to coach your kids. If Jared goes out tonight in his exhibition game and throws 10 ground balls, it's going to result in 10 outs,
Yeah.
And here, a ground ball, we've got action and we've got, trouble on the base path.
And we've definitely seen that. And we've seen it in this game, that's called strike 2, and these are 2 top teams in the regional, and the last 2 teams to win the state championship in 5A, Carl Albert 2021. But they've rebuilt, different group here. Of course, Duncan last year. So we'll see what Sammy Gonzalez can do with 2 strikes. Garrett looks to get out of this inning. 0-2 pitch. And he stays alive with a foul ball. Well, you watched a lot of playoff baseball then last year if you keep up with the Phillies.
Absolutely. We were excited to watch that. JT he's an amazing person, obviously a great baseball player. The Phillies went on quite a run. I mean, I don't know if you watched any of it. It was really fun to follow, and
they watched some of it. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have gotten to the playoffs if they didn't change the playoff format. Oh, Gonzalez turns on this one, but he got under it. And this is playable for the left fielder for Duncan, that being Samuels, and he makes the play. And we are out of the inning. No runs for Carl Albert this inning. They have a 5-3 lead on Duncan. We'll be back with more of the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we take pride in taking care of our community. When we hit the road, we're fully prepared to solve your plumbing issues. We're family owned, and we are the standard for plumbing service. With a team full of champions, being the best plumbers in Oklahoma is just part of the job. So when we show up, you can rest easy, knowing that whatever the issue may be, we can handle it and make you a happy Champion customer. Contact Champion Plumbing today.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network at Bill Tipton Field. Carl Albert and Duncan. Carl Albert a 1 win away from state. They hope to get that win today. Duncan needs to beat Carl Albert twice if they want to advance to state. Jordan Ray, Jordan Price with you. This is the Rose State top of the 5th inning. And they're going to keep Sammy Gonzalez in, Jordan, so that'll be interesting to see how long they stick with him, as Duncan will have the top of the order up.
Yeah, really important part of the game right here with the top of the lineup, and pitch count probably rising. It looks like they've got number 34, Fixico, in the bullpen ready to rock.
And that is his main role. He comes off out of the dugout to be a relief pitcher, a left-handed guy. That pitch is a strike. Again, the leadoff hitter is up for Duncan. That's Bryson Brookshire. Third time through as well. And Brookshire hits one hard to left field. And it's corralled by the left fielder. Good job by Ryan Ray. So there's one out.
Good play and probably even better communication on that play. That ball's hit to the left fielder's left, which is glove side. So he's going to be sprinting with the glove open. Really good that he called that ball and went ahead and caught it. Mason coming from center field, that's, non-glove side. He's got to be sprinting with the opposite hand. So some good baseball there.
So that's one away. And the second hitter, Eli Ramirez, the center fielder, is up. First pitch there is a ball. Good pitch there from Sammy. Even the count of 1-1 with a strike. Pitch outside. Count goes 2-1. So a bit of an upset, by the way, going on also on the Oklahoma Sports Network in the Elgin Regional. Altus, the 3 seed, has beaten Guthrie 1-0. That ball hit to center right field, and Lashley couldn't hold on to it, and that should be a triple for Ramirez. So he gets to third base. From where we're sitting, it's hard to tell looking at the outfield how close the outfielder was to actually catching that, but it's good hitting from Ramirez. I'm sure he'll be given a base hit there.
Well, on a day like today, that's going to be the toughest play to make. The ball that's hit really high in the air, it's obviously going to be wind aided. So my only comments on a play like that is you have to sprint full speed until you are behind the baseball. Okay, so a ball hit in the general direction of where the wind is blowing, you've got to get out there and get behind the ball and start working back to it.
All right, two things happening right now. They're going to, no surprise, Carl Albert's going to go ahead and intentionally walk Chago Barham, which means they don't even throw a pitch. That's how they do it now. Was that like that when you were playing?
It was.
Okay. That's something to do in Major League Baseball now.
It was, and even in college at Oklahoma Christian, intentional walks were just a pass. You didn't even have to throw the pitches. It was in NAI at the time.
Yeah, Duncan fans weren't happy about it, but it makes total sense. And then also a pitching change. Jackson Fixico will come in for Carl Albert in relief of Sammy Gonzalez. So as he warms up, we'll take a quick break and be back with some drama perhaps in the top of the 5th inning between Duncan and Carl Albert. And you are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Jordan Price here with you. This is the Rose State Top of the fifth inning, Carlsbad leads 5-3. They have a runner at third base, or now actually runners at the corners. And Jackson Fixico will come in relief of Sammy Gonzalez. Gonzalez, of course, being the good hitter he is, will stay in the game and move to third base. And Mr. Randall had two really good at-bats, but will have to come out. So what do you think about is it going to be a little different for Duncan just facing a left-handed pitcher now?
Yeah, it will be a change of pace. What you want to see here from your bullpen is in the zone early and kind of stop the bleeding and like you said, change perspective of the hitter's eyes. You want to get in the zone and really compete. Objectively speaking, this is giving me a little PTSD. Jared, our youngest brother, is a relief pitcher, in independent ball in the American Association, and this is his job. This is what he does for a living. He comes in and in tough situations, as you can see, Fixico didn't get to choose to come into the game with first and third and a good hitter at the plate in a tight ball game, but that's what he does. And
that is what he does.
The same can be said for Jared.
He is used to this, coming in on relief. He's not a normal starter for him. That pitch is outside for a ball. And he did it last year, so it's something I'm sure he embraces.
Well, you have to. That's kind of the conversations we have, is you kind of have to look that situation in the eye, and if you don't, you're kind of going to get beat for it.
That's a tough one there, but he takes the 3-1 pitch for a ball, does Barnard, and the bases will be loaded now. And coming up for Duncan is a pretty good hitter, their fifth-place hitter and catcher, Jackson Pogue, who I think but hit a hard hit double his last at bat. So this is some drama here. And Brown will come and talk to Fixico. I will say in the games that I've seen from Carl Albert, it's only 2 or 3, when he comes in, he usually does struggle a bit with the command with the first batter.
And good mound visit here. I mean, I don't know what the conversation was, but limiting the damage is really important. I mean, you got an offense on our side, Carl Albert's side, that's doing well. So limiting the damage and keeping the crooked numbers off the board is really important right here.
And first pitch, there's a ball. So we're really at a critical juncture here. Duncan has the tying run at second base. Way outside there. Count goes 2-0. And you can see Tanner Norman coming out to say something to him, trying to calm him down. Two-0 pitch. And that's what they needed. A foul ball, strike one. That's not uncommon for a first baseman to give words of wisdom from time to time to a pitcher, I would imagine.
It's not. Now, what's interesting about this level is you can do this all you want. Okay.
Yeah.
At the other levels, they're starting to count mound visits. So, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if these guys know that he's maybe struggling or maybe off just a little bit, I would pull this game to a screeching halt. Everybody go meet with him.
So the count now is 2-1. Fixico to Poe, and that's strike two. And that umpire's being consistent. He gave the left-handed pitcher for Duncan that strike against right-handed hitters Brance Garrett. So good pitch there. Count is 2-2. Fixico in need of a strikeout. And that's out of the zone for a ball.
Really important to keep the ball in front. Good job by the catcher here. The ball's in the dirt. A little bit overthrown. Got the glove down, keep the head and chest down. It's good block.
Big pitch here, payoff pitch. That ball in the air to shallow right field. Lashley makes the catch, fires towards home. Norman fields it. No way to get the base runner, and Duncan scores a run there, but Carl Albert gets a second out. They maintain the lead for now. You probably would see that as a win since you have the lead, but you got more work to do. The tying run's now at third base. And one of the reasons, by the way, I asked you about the first baseman is I really enjoyed watching that documentary on the '86 Mets, 30 for 30. I don't know if you watched it, Jordan, or if you heard about it. I think it came out in fall of 2021. But Keith Hernandez, also known for being on Seinfeld, was their first baseman, and he would give a lot of instruction to the pitcher. And they said the pitchers listened to him more than their catcher, Gary Carter.
Yeah, so my 4 years at Oklahoma Christian, I got a chance to play the same position, 4 years. So I got a chance to talk and communicate with the pitchers quite a bit. And so I can definitely relate to that. Playing behind that guy, you start to realize tendencies. You see him pitch, pretty often practice in games, and you kind of can pick up on your guy's tendencies. So absolutely, if you've got some insight to give to him, give it.
First, there's a strike, making the count 2-1. Yeah, there was a key at bat in the playoffs in '86 against the Houston Astros, interestingly enough, with the Mets, and he told one of his pitchers, if you throw another fastball, I'm going to kill you. And the pitcher was a left-handed pitcher. He got the batter out with 3 sliders. Foul ball there, so another BSN Sports foul ball. Count goes 2-2. So a chance for Fixico to get out of the inning with Carl Albert maintaining a lead. Outside there, so count goes full. Base runner at first will be able to take off with this pitch. I don't know if Fixico would think about a pickoff move. But here we go, payoff pitch. Foul ball.
Well, and just talking through some baseball strategy, I would really like to see Carl Albert's first baseman playing on the cut of the grass here. Okay, I completely understand maybe standing behind the runner and maybe tying him or incentivizing him to be at the base, but in a situation like that, the runner's moving regardless, so you kind of want to get yourself in good defensive position.
So the bases are loaded. The go-ahead run is at second base now. And it looks like Carl will make another pitching change. That was quicker than expected. So Fixico will be giving some instructions to Brown, I guess. I don't know what that could be about. That's an interesting exchange there. Let's see who comes in for Carl Albert. You show there 8 or 6.
Number 8, Mason Trotter.
Mason Trotter, another Mason there, and he'll be coming on in a crucial juncture for the Titans. This, by the way, is the second pitching change that they have made this inning. So bases are loaded. Duncan looking to retake the lead here. Top of the 5th inning. This is a Rose State top of the 5th inning. Want to get college credit while still in high school at Rose State? High school students can earn up to 27 tuition-free credit hours of college credit through the concurrent enrollment. Find out more at www.rose.edu/concurrent. Well, another lefty, though, so Trotter, who bats right-handed but throws left-handed. And he'll have a big matchup. I believe Jeffrey Cross, the third baseman, is due up for Duncan.
Yeah, you bring up, a left-hander coming in on the backside of a left-hander. I would venture to say, at this level, you're going to pitch based on gut, or at least as a coach, you're going to put the next guy up just on how you think he's going to compete. At other levels, righty-lefty, in this juncture of the game is really important. You want to bring in, what combats their lineup the most effective. But at this level, man, exactly like we coach in basketball, Coach Price in a situation like this is running down the bench, grabbing a jersey of whoever he thinks is going to go in and compete and fight and contribute.
Yeah.
Whether he plays the 5 or whether he's a point guard. At this point in the game, in high school sports, it's going to be who's got the guts, who can compete, who's going to come in and fight and change the game.
One thing about Mason Trotter, I don't know a whole lot about how he'll be different as a pitcher than Fixico. We'll see. But I know he is a more experienced batter, as whoever's pitching for Carl Albert will be batting 8th. as they did not use their DH to start this game, so they will not have a DH. So whoever's pitching will have to hit away. And the batter is Jeffrey Cross for Duncan. 2 outs. Bases loaded with Demons. Count is, we'll get to the count in a moment. Since there is 2 outs, runners obviously will go on contact. And here we go. First pitch to Cross. Sound like he had good velocity there, but he just missed the zone, and it's ball 1. It is interesting when we got this, have the windows up, we can hear that ball hit the catcher's glove. That pitch also out of the zone 2-0, and Trotter definitely throws harder than Fixico. But right now, it doesn't matter. He's behind the count 2-0. And that ball is hit to the gap. It's going to fall past the center fielder, and that should score 3 runs for Duncan. They're going to send the runner to first, the throw to Brown, and he couldn't field it. And just like that, the Demons down 5-1 not too long ago have taken a 7-5 lead with some clutch 2-out hitting. Give credit to Jeffrey Cross, the 7th place hitter, and he came up with a big one.
You might not have been able to see this on the broadcast, but center fielder Mason Novotny is almost playing over here on the light pole before that at bat. I'm not sure what the scouting report said. That type of shading on a 2-0 count is really difficult to get right. If you know it's a 2-0 fastball count, shading that far, it's hard to get that right.
So here's Cole Lynch, and Lynch sends one to left field, but Ryan Ray is there for the out. So that will end the inning, but Duncan comes back with 3 more runs. The defending champs, they don't want to go home yet. They will head to the bottom of the 5th inning with a 7-5 lead. And you are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Duncan now leads Carl Albert 7-5 as we get to the bottom of the 1st. Real quick, I want to thank Super Subs for being our banner sponsor. Located at 2150 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Try to do summertime special featuring a chicken salad sandwich on a toasted croissant. Tanner Norman will be the batter for Carl Albert, and Jordan right here with Jordan Price. And Jordan, there was Coach Wiley had a meeting with his players after that inning ended, and what do you think he probably said to his guys?
Just respond. That's got to be the headline. This has been a great game. So we've been back and forth. Probably some defense that both teams would want back, but he's just probably going to ask them to respond and compete here. The other thing that's so important for high school players is to play the next play, and what I mean by that is these guys are not experienced enough to know how often they're going to mess up. So my point there is us as high school coaches, we know that you're going to mess up, but it's really important to respond.
Norman down the count 0-1. Fouls that pitch off to go 0-2. Brant Garrett still pitching for Duncan, of course. He's headed to Murray State to pitch there next year. So D1 pitcher in this game. Carl Albert had the D1 pitcher in the last game between these two teams. But if he can be economical with his pitches, Duncan has the advantage pitching-wise. It's a question of when will his pitch count become a factor. Here's the 0-2 to Norman. And Norman makes solid contact, and that was close, but it will be a foul ball, a BSN Sports foul ball.
Yeah, another thing that's really critical in that meeting is whatever the approach is against a pitcher like this, you've got to stick to it. No matter if, win, lose, or if you have a tough inning, he's probably reminding the hitters of the approach that they're trying to stay with. And so if I were him, I'd say, hey, well, let's stick with a plan here. We're trying to get this guy deep in the pitch count and get on base is the goal.
Again, the 0-2 pitch, and that's high, ball one. And I'll be able to see it at some point. Duncan will have action in the mound. I don't think they'll use one of their position players to pitch.
Well, I just peeked over. No activity in the bullpen, which kind of signals the commitment, to the ace here. And like you said, trying to get to tomorrow, whatever it takes.
Norman down 0-2 at one point, is pulled even at 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And that is called strike three. Another Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. And there's one away for Hutch Russell.
Really on that pitch, you can see his college potential. I mean, to be able to throw a fastball on that, outer third of the plate, that's what a college or a high school college prospect needs to show that he can do.
Now it'll be Hutch Russell who tries to get on base to get a rally going for Carl Albert. And he hits that one hard. I thought that was fair, but they called it foul. So hard hit, strike one.
Interesting technique. I got a comment on the technique by the field ump right there. So you're supposed to have 2 feet in foul territory for a few reasons. One, if the ball hits you, you don't affect the game. You're in foul territory. 2, if the ball misses you on your left side, it's obviously a foul ball. Okay, so really good umpiring right there if you can see him.
Yep, and that's where he's positioned.
I mean, to my comments, some lazy umpire right there. If you're standing on the chalk or even behind it and it hits your foot, that ball's not only deflected into play, but it's a fair ball. So the game continues. So really good technique right there.
Count now 1-1. Whoa, we got behind Russell there. That one just got away from Garrett. And count goes 2-1. Two-one pitch. Russell puts one in play over there, the shortstop, but he's going to be able to get under it. And that's caught by Chago Barnum, who had a home run earlier this game, and there are now 2 away for the Titans. So now the 5th place hitter for Carl Albert, Ryan Ray, will be their last hope for this inning. And we will head to the 6th. He doesn't get on base. Duncan took the lead 1-0 on a Chago Barnum home run. Carl Albert came back with 5 in the bottom of the 3rd inning to lead 5-1. Pitch inside for a ball. And then Duncan has played it in 3 runs their last 2 at-bats to now take a 7-5 lead.
A couple of really important at-bats right here. This inning has obviously been pretty economical for the Duncan pitcher.
And Ray sends one to center field, but plenty of time there for Ramirez to get under it for Duncan, and that will end the inning. So we head to the top of the 6th. Your score is Duncan 7, Carl Albert 5. You're watching the Titan Regional, the Carl Albert Titan Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
All right, welcome to the top of the 6th now in the Carl Albert Titan Regional, and we have reached the last 2 teams of this regional. It'll be Carl Albert and Duncan. Carl Albert is 1 win away from state, but Duncan has the lead, and if they hold on to this lead, these teams will play a winner-take-all, loser-go-home game tomorrow. Mason Trotter stays on for this inning. He got the last out of the previous inning. He needs to keep this at 2. Ryland Samuels, the hitter for Duncan. And that first pitch is outside for a ball.
Looks to be a little activity in Duncan's bullpen. Interested to see what their coaching staff goes with here, depending on what the score is at the end of this top half. If they go with someone, they lack 6 outs right here. A couple guys warming up in the bullpen.
Pitch is high for a ball. I want to pass on also, again, we mentioned it briefly, but on the Oklahoma Sports Network we also have the Elgin Regional, and Altus surprised Guthrie, so Altus and Elgin will be playing. So that pitch is going to be a walk, or ball 4 for a walk. The third game of that region, because that regional started today because of the weather, they pushed it back 2 days. And so that'll be a big game on the Oklahoma Sports Network on both the Altus page and the Elgin page. Here's Brookshire to bat, Bryson Brookshire, with 1 runner on. Carl Albert trying to protect the 2-run lead. Here's Coach Whiteley again.
To me, Jordan, this is a lot of the chess match that has to be high school baseball. Because here you're going to get multiple guys switching gloves. You're going to get bodies moving around. And here's what's interesting is one side needs to be thinking about how they utilize their bullpen up 2 runs. The other side is just trying to buy as many outs as they can to get back on offense. Okay, so as you can see, we're changing. We're bringing in someone at first. Someone's going to go change gloves and come out here and pitch.
It's going to be Tanner Norman.
It's something that is a major challenge of being a high school baseball coach is putting guys in positions that sometimes they won't do for the rest of their life,
Well, this is interesting here. Gives us something to talk about. So it looks like Mason Trotter will move to first base. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Easton Perkins coming in at first base. Okay, I get 6 and 8. From a distance, they can look close enough. I was about to say, this guy throws right-handed. That's not Mason Trotter. But no, that's because it's Easton Perkins, who I think Coach Wiley, he told me he was not available or he was injured for Thursday if they had started the games then. But we'll see if he's recovered enough, if he can get a chance to bat. This So he will take the 8th spot, and then Tanner Norman, the first baseman, will pitch. And I have not seen him pitch before. I've seen these other guys pitch. So it'll be interesting to see what he can bring, as Carl Albert will go back to a right-handed pitcher.
I mean, how much different is this game than the 11-1 result, you know, from a couple days ago? I mean, this is, you know, days like this, driving into the ballpark makes me miss being out here. You know, the only thing that could have been better about today is if I got a chance to wear a white uniform. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. I know it's a great day weather-wise. It was really hot yesterday, so but got the weather going good here.
Brings back some very fond memories. You know, these days I'm stuck in an indoor sport, you know, coaching basketball all these seasons, but being able to be around the ballpark again it's been amazing. Bringing back some really good memories.
All right, so Duncan should have the top of the order up. Yes, Bryson Brookshire is the hitter. So, yeah, again, if you're watching, I encourage you to tune in to Elgin versus Altus. Elgin won the 5A District 2 Regional. Altus finished 5th, and Elgin swept Altus in the regular season, but Altus beating Guthrie. Let's see if they have some more magic in them. And Norman's first pitch is a ball. So that's actually called the strike. So, Jordan, when you were playing, I'm guessing back then Guthrie was a big rival.
It was.
Pitches out. Oh, that's called a strike on the bunt attempt.
And it was a rivalry in all three sports. You know, they're
still is, yeah.
Historically really good football program. Basketball has been up and down. At one point they won back-to-back state championships after I graduated. But, yeah, some great matchups between Guthrie and Carl Albert.
And Carl Albert's other district rivals that are also rivals in football, Bishop McGinnis, so they don't play in basketball. And Piedmont, who might be moving up to 6A here soon.
Right.
1-2 now the count. You challenged him on that one, but called the ball inside. Count goes 2-2. Who else were your rivals when you were playing?
We actually had a great rivalry with Bishop McGinnis at the time. I don't know if you remember, Daniel Orton played there.
Yep.
Michael Sassanier played at McGinnis. So
ground ball hit to the new first baseman. Norman's got to hurry. I don't think he got there in time. He did not. Perkins fielded it cleanly. That's a tough one. Bang, bang play there, but that'll be 2 on now for Duncan as they look to expand their lead. Well, they got the inning wrong, so I'm changing now. It's top of the 6th inning.
Again, just several defensive mistakes. It speaks to kind of what this sport is at this level. If you can control those, then you're the better team. And you see in a game like this, so many defensive errors, it kind of levels the playing field.
Eli Ramirez, the 2-hole hitter, is the hitter. Showing bunt. Norman's first pitch is a strike.
I'm interested to see how this plays out. I would prefer to see. I mean, on their side, they should be bunting right here. This is the 100 out of 100 situation. You bunt every time. No outs, 2 guys on base late in the game.
Goes for the bunt there. Called the strike. Count goes 0-2 now, so that may take the bunt out of the equation. You mentioned McGinnis. It's interesting that you guys don't play anymore in basketball. Of course, they kind of go back and forth between 4A and 5A. Norman's 0-2 pitch, and that is belted for a base hit. Novotny cuts it off at center field. They will send the lead runner, Duncan, and he will score easily. See if we can get the at-bat for you there. Solid contact made by Ramirez. That scores the 9-hole hitter, Samuels. That's why you don't want to walk the 9-hole hitter. And Duncan now leads 8-5.
interesting situation here. I'm not sure if the camera can get this, but coach is coming down to meet with number 13 here. This would be a bunting situation. Obviously, this guy is a great hitter.
Yes,
now,
he is.
The only reason I wouldn't have taken that meeting is you kind of send a message to the entire field of what's happening. They're taking bunt off, going to let him swing.
Well, Carl Albert pitched to him, though. And I'm not sure what the umpire was motioning for there. Oh, they're going to have a courtesy runner come in for the catcher. Yeah, the catcher got the base hit, so that makes sense. All right, it's Tanner Norman pitching to Chago Barham. And Barham goes the other way to right field. Back as Lashley with the catch. Tagging is the leadoff hitter for Duncan, that being Brookshire. He gets to third base, so actually that's a very good at bat for Tanner Norman, getting the dangerous hitter out. And
yeah, on their side, probably worth the risk with a guy with pop like that. You know, their strategy needs to be to maximize this inning, get as many runs, and that's probably worth the risk, giving a guy a green light to go ahead and swing. Now, you're right. It only resulted in one base plus, so good thing for Carl Albert there.
Well, there is only one out, so that is a nice opportunity for Duncan with the runner at third, less than 2 outs. And the cleanup hitter, Blake Barnard. And Barnard fists one over the head of Henson, and that's going to lead to another Duncan run, making it 9-5. He didn't get all of that, but he located it well. And we have another Big O's instant replay. Sure to go to Big O's in Midwest City. Big O's Pork and Dreams. Stop by there, located 6003 Southeast 15th Street. So now it's 9-5. And here's Jackson Pogue. Outside for a ball. But we've seen how good Duncan's hitters are. We couldn't really tell against Cash Ferris. We're seeing it here. The count goes 2-0.
Well, and just getting in the zone. I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked at the batting averages after strike one. It's the most important pitch in baseball is strike one. And for 6 innings, I don't know if we've been that effective throwing strike one.
That gets past Brown, and both base runners for Duncan will advance. Now with 1 out, this is a real important situation for Carl Albert to limit the damage. Count's actually at 3-0. And that's a strike. Count will go to 3-1.
And I completely agree here. Infield in. This is a damage limiting type move. You have to take the risk and bring him in.
And he will walk him. First base was open.
Now batting number 27, Giles. Move over.
There's Preston Giles batting. Bases are loaded, 1 out. First pitch for Norman is a strike. Tanner Norman, an offensive lineman in football, very strong kid. Very difficult challenge for him on the mound here.
Defensive coverage here in the baseball world, we'd call this corners in here. You see they're electing to put shortstop and second base back at the cut, hoping for kind of a hard one right at them where they can turn two.
That ball is laced to left field. Brian Ray's there. They're going to send the runner. Could be close. And safe is the runner at third, and so that will make it 10-5. And you got the replay for you, the Big O's replay. That was close. Don't think it necessarily was wrong, as we see on the Big O's instant replay, but that was close. And now it's 10-5, as once again Duncan scores 3 runs in an inning. He's run it 3 straight times now. That is the second out of the inning.
Oh my gosh. Now batting, number 2, Cross.
A couple of situations that I've noticed in fly balls, you kind of have to get your body behind the ball, and if you're needing to come up throwing, in a couple cases the corner outfielders have had to kind of have their balance going backwards catching the ball. That's going to lead to not being able to throw through your cut here, which is what you saw on that play at the plate.
Cole Lynch, the batter for Duncan, the designated hitter. Carl Albert will have their work out for them. They have 6 outs to work with. Try to avoid, I can call it a game 7, not like you see in best of 7 series, but the 7th game of the regional will be played tomorrow at 2 o'clock if the score holds. Count now actually is 1-2. Lynch reaches for that one, fouls it off. Count stays at 1-2. Another BSN Sports foul ball.
BSN Sports being very economical with their advertising. Great choice, choosing to be the foul ball sponsor. You're going to get a lot of ad reads. That's very economical.
And we have another one, another BSN Sports foul ball. Yeah, well, we didn't have any for the regular season, but I ran into Caleb at the track meet last week at Carl Albert, and so appreciate that he was willing to do this. But yeah, I was surprised because we did get a couple of inning sponsors, a strikeout sponsor, which is also a good sponsor to have when Cash Ferris pitches, so that's been used a lot. Dynamic Health Clinic, strikeout sponsor, but yes, foul ball sponsor, that gets a lot of mentions. Runner goes, takes third without a throw.
Caleb Price, actually another former teammate of mine. We recruited Caleb out of Carl Albert after a 10 home run season his senior year here at Carl Albert. We signed him at Oklahoma Christian. Interesting story, he played third base right alongside me playing short.
And that is called strike 3. Great pitch from Tanner Norman. Yeah, you guys were, 2 years apart?
That's right.
Dynamic Health Clinic strikeout. Bet you got some good stories about getting into fights with him. Not that you need to tell him.
It's, those things between he and I go to the grave, you know what I mean?
Understood. All right, we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Duncan 10, Carl Albert 5. You're watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Man, I appreciate it. That was fun.
No problem. Any chance you could come tomorrow?
I got to hit the road. No, tomorrow.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
Oh.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
Some fans that were here today.
Good time, man.
And act as one-man air traffic
Appreciate
control
it. Glad you
tower.
can do it.
We're the ones who go before all others.
Oh, if you see Dunn or
Join
Collier
the fight.
let them know like they can still come up.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. I want to thank Jordan Price for joining us. He'll have to head on out. And heading on up right now at the plate is Brody Hinson, as Carl Albert needs base runners. They've had big innings before. They've had a 5-run inning this game as they're down 5. Can they get to Brance Garrett? They got 6 outs to work with. And Garrett does what he's been good at this game, and that's hitting the outside corner. So he gets ahead of Hinson 0-1. And another BSN Sports foul ball. And now Hinson falls behind 0-2. And the game tomorrow is scheduled at 2 if this score holds. And the pitching matchup will be interesting. Carl Albert's had to use a few. We'll see if they can stick with Tanner Norman for a while. Another foul ball by Hinson. Another BSN Sports foul ball. We thank them again. This also is the La Herencia bottom of the 6th inning. So we need to change that up there. See if Hinson can keep protecting the plate. Yeah, he does. He puts it in play to Barnum. And that's an out. Well, let's see if we can get a replay of that one. That was interesting. Maybe an argument there from Coach Whiteley as we see the replay there. I don't know if the had anything to do the fact that the first baseman was in the path of Brody Hinson. That would have been a good Jordan Price question. That's a Big O's Pork and Dreams instant replay. So there is one away now. Taking a pitch right now for Carl Albert. And they may have made some movements. I think that's usually Chase Lashley's spot in the order. Looks like we have Cash Ferris pitching. So we'll or not pitching, hitting. We'll see if Cash Ferris stays in the field. See his pinch hitting. This may just be a one-time pinch hit. You can do that in baseball. Ferris swings and misses there, and count actually slides to 2-2. Sorry, 2-1. It's 2-0 pitch. Now it goes 2-2. So that's a BSN Sports foul ball. Ferris, who pitched to Jim yesterday, takes there. Count goes 3-2. And they need him to get on base. And one question I will definitely ask Coach Whiteley, if the score holds, will he be available to pitch at all, maybe an inning or two tomorrow? Takes a walk there. That's a really important at bat for Carl Albert. We'll see if they can do something with it. With one out, we have Easton Perkins. Now, I said a few minutes ago I thought he was unavailable because he was hurt. I actually was talking, that was Easton Harless. Wrong Easton. Also, I have a nephew named Easton, so a lot of Eastons to keep track of. But Easton Harless might be the one who's not available. Easton Perkins is the batter now. And Duncan will have a meeting at the mound. I don't know if it's a pitching change. It's not. Might have been a case of Coach Oliver just checking with Garrett to see if he's good. Of course, you know Garrett's going to want to keep the ball, and he will. And meanwhile, Carl Albert just wants base runners here. First pitch is a ball. Good. 1-0 pitch taken for ball 2. Again, Brance Garrett is a Division I pitcher going to Murray State. I believe Brookshire and Barnard are at least one of those two. Also, they have 3 players going to Murray State as Duncan. I lost track of the other two, but we know Garrett is. No! And that inside pitch is called a strike. So the count goes to 2-1. And they're going to call a balk, so the pitch won't count. You'd almost rather have the pitch if you're Carl Albert, but down 5, you would love to see Perkins get on base with a walk. Instead, a balk will be called, and Ferris will take second. Now, even though Ferris is known for being a great pitcher at this level, he also plays center field, and that tells you he can run. That pitch is high, and now we see a 3-1 count. So that would have been the count had it not been for a balk. And then from there, who knows what type of pitch we would have seen from Garrett. But Carl Albert trying to get their second base runner on. And they might be able to get to the top of their order here with a chance to do some damage. The 3-1 pitch is skied to right. And Ferris will tag, and he will get to third easily, but making the catch, all-important out for Duncan is Bryson Brookshire, and we now have 2 away. So that's a big out, not getting that walk as Garrett was behind in the count. And here is Jackson Brown, 9th place hitter, so if he gets out, Carl Albert will have the top of the order coming up next in the next inning. But they don't want to be down any more than 5 runs. Swinging through that pitch there is Brown. Putting the count at 0-1. That is fouled off. It's a BSN Sports foul ball. Now Brown falls behind 0-2, so he's been swinging here. So Garrett looking for a strikeout. Pitch is outside for a ball. Ferris, the base runner, at third. One and two pitch. The Duncan faithful wanted it. They will not get it. Garrett wanted it. He started to leave the mound area, but it's called a ball. Count goes 2-2. Two pitch fouled off. It'll stay 2-2. That is a BSN Sports foul ball. Well, if you're Carl Albert, you definitely would like to get one run in. At least get that run to third in. Make a rally in the seventh inning a little bit more doable. And that pitch out of the zone. And now we have a full count. Titans and Demons battling here at Carl Albert High School. Full count pitch. That is fouled off again. Over the backstop. Another BSN Sports foul ball. So Brown is making, after swinging at a couple pitches, and one of them a swing and miss, he is making Garrett work here. Again, at some point we don't have track of Brance Garrett's pitches, but at some point expect his pitch count to matter. Where Duncan will have to go with someone else, but we're not there yet. Here's to see what can happen if Jackson Brown can draw a walk here. So we'll do it again. Payoff pitch. And we'll do it another time, as that's another foul ball, another BSN Sports foul ball. That one will be in play, and it'll be popped up to the shortstop. Barnum is under it. And no damage done for Carl Albert. We've played 6. We head to what should be the final frame, unless there's a tie. Your score is Duncan 10, Carl Albert 5, and you are watching Carl Albert Baseball for the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
We want to make your next event an adventure. At Inflatable Adventures, we want to make your next event hassle-free by providing incredible products at a great price, along with amazing customer service. We offer one of the widest selections of bounce houses, water slides, obstacle courses, and so much more. Give us a call today or check us out online at inflatableadventures.org. Remember, Inflatable Adventures, the only inflation worth paying for.
Welcome back to the Carl Albert Titan Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We have reached the top of the 7th inning, and the score is Carl Albert 5, Duncan 10. This is the Rose State top of the 7th inning. Cole Lynch, the batter for Duncan. Takes a pitch there from Tanner Norman for a ball. Pitch is outside for a strike. So that will do it for Brance Garrett, the Duncan ace. Indication strongly was as he was heading to the dugout that he will be done for the day. So he was getting congratulatory hugs and handshakes all around, and a standing ovation from the Duncan faithful as he was extremely effective. One bad inning with some defensive problems, but otherwise he got the job done. That pitch is low for a ball. Meanwhile, for Carl Albert, got a chance to face a different pitcher. Might be to your liking, but you don't want to be down by any more than this. But Norman walks the hitter there.
Number 8, Rylan Samuels.
So Rylan Samuels, the left fielder, will come up now. The one thing about Duncan, their fielding since their struggles in the 3rd inning has been pretty good. Carl Albert had a 5-1 lead earlier, and then Duncan has scored 3 runs in each of their. Well, actually, I take that back. They scored 2 runs, then 3 runs, then 3 runs. And 4 runs. 2 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs. That's how it actually works there. I think, let's see, did Duncan bring in a pinch runner? Norman worried about him, throws to first. Throw gets by the new first baseman, Perkins. And the Duncan base runner gets to second. So already the Demons have a runner in scoring position here. Now Tanner Norman needs to worry about Samuels. And I'll have to deal with the top of the order after this. The pitch is a ball, ball 1. Squaring to bunt is Samuels. That pitch there inside called a ball. 2-0 is now the count. That pitch is in there for a strike. Also on the Oklahoma Sports Network, Elgin has taken an early lead against Altus. That ball is bunted, and it stays in play. So no one out. See if we can get that again. There it is. You can just watch this bunt. That took a couple of Duncan rolls. That is a Big O's instant replay there for you. Big O's Pork and Dreams. So now Coach Watley will come out to make another pitching change as Duncan now has runners at the corners and nobody out. All right, we'll go ahead and take a break here. You are watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business.
Augusta Contracting is a general contracting company that specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects. When you choose us as a partner for a project, we assure quality workmanship, exceptional performance, and unparalleled client satisfaction. At Augusta Contracting, safety is top priority. Our main focus is to send our team home to their families safe, happy, and healthy. Augusta Contracting, where your idea turns to reality and your project comes to life.
Here at Champion Plumbing, we take pride in taking care of our community. When we hit the road, we're fully prepared to solve your plumbing issues. We're family owned, and we are the standard for plumbing service. With a team full of champions, being the best plumbers in Oklahoma is just part of the job. So when we show up, you can rest easy, knowing that whatever the issue may be, we can handle it and make you a happy Champion customer. Contact Champion Plumbing today.
And welcome back to Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Your score right now is Duncan leads 10-5. So what Carl Albert has done right now is they have switched Easton Perkins and Tanner Norman. Tanner Norman will head back to first base, and Easton Perkins will pitch. Again, Elgin and Altus in a low-scoring game on the Oklahoma Sports Network because Altus pulled off a bit of an upset. And beat Guthrie earlier today. Again, this is day one of the Elgin Regional. Probably will not be a game 4 on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll see how Guthrie does against Southeast. I kind of think we know how that's going to play out. And then we'll see if Altus can make a comeback. That would be quite the ordeal for them because they finished 5th in their district and lost twice to Elgin in the regular season. All right, they send the runner looking to maybe go for a double steal. But Brown does not make the throw to second. And now Samuels, who took second, that should be Bryson Brookshire batting. And Brookshire gets it over the head of Gonzalez. It's going to go over his head. It's a fair ball. It's going to score another run for Duncan. If Gonzalez could have fielded that, that would have changed some things. So right now Carl Albert having trouble getting outs. Eli Ramirez will be the next batter. So again, it's now 11-5. Perkins pitch there outside. Ball 1. Good pitch there, and the count goes 1-1. Or no, they called it a ball. So 2-0. That pitch is outside for a ball. Now the count goes 3-1 with that last pitch. And Ramirez, the freshman, hits one deep. And that's gone. So just the tail end of that swing by Eli Ramirez. I say he's a freshman, he's a sophomore, but still, not a big guy, and that is an impressive swing. That replay is brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams, sorry. That's a 3-run bomb, and that breaks this game open. 14-5 now a score. That ball by Chago Barham. Long foul ball, BSN Sports foul ball. So this game at one point was 5-1, and Duncan has just exploded here. Count now goes 2-1. In the air to second base, Hinson with the first out for the Titans. So 1 out here. And this is how it looks for Duncan Demons. They did not score any in the first inning. They had a home run in the second inning. Nothing in the third inning, and at that point, Carl Albert looked to be in control, and then Duncan scores 2, 4, 3, and now 4. And the inning rundown to take a 14-5 lead. This ball hit to center left. Ryan Ray is there for the out number 2. And Duncan now up by 9. That's Barnard with the pop-up there. And Jackson Pogue will be the catcher. Or no, be the catcher. He'll be the hitter. Still the catcher. First pitch is a strike. Keep in mind, Carl Albert won yesterday 11-1. Pitch in there for strike 2. Now, since Carl Albert's the home team, Duncan cannot win via run rule here, even if they go up by 20. They'll have to play this bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch way outside. Ball 1. Count now goes 2-2. That ball is laced to center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. As Novotny just couldn't get there in time. Did the wise thing by not even diving for that. Here's Preston Giles hitting for Duncan. Pitch outside for a ball. One and 0 the count. Go back to first in time. And that's an incredible display by the defending champs on the ropes and coming through. That ball's hit to center field. Plenty of time for Novotny to get under it, and he does for the final out of the inning. But 4 more runs for Duncan, and they are 3 outs away from forcing a deciding game tomorrow. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th inning. You're watching the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
And welcome back to the Carl Albert Regional here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And your score, as you can see right there, Carl Albert trailing Duncan 14-5. Duncan will have a new pitcher. La Herencia, bottom of the 7th. Duncan's pitcher looks like he is one of their experienced players. It's Eli Ramirez pitching. So he hit the home run last inning. So we'll see what he can do against the top of the order for Carl Albert. And, of course, he wants to throw strikes, and he does to Mason Navani, who struck out a couple times. Well, Carl Albert, their first inning of this region, only scored 11 runs, but that was against Ardmore. Carl Albert, or Navani, fouls that one out of play. You would not expect him to be able to do that here. BSN Sports foul ball. Now the count actually is 0-2. Ramirez. And that is called strike 3. So now Carl Albert down to 2 outs. And Sammy Gonzalez at the plate. Pitch is low, ball 1. Low again, ball 2. Thanks to Garrett. Went 6 innings. Brance Garrett for Duncan. We have not seen Carl Albert batters get ahead too often in the count, but Gonzalez is here as the count is 3-0. And that's ball 4. So Carl Albert's had a couple base runners since their 5-run third inning. They just haven't been able to do much with it. We'll see what happens here with Tanner Norman. So what a day this could be for Duncan, facing elimination from the beginning. It could be a perfect 2-0 and staying alive. First pitch to Norman is high, ball 1. And hey, one of these teams will get to stay. They'll be all elimination from there. Carl Albert's a team that has some wiggle room. Fortunately for them, as they are drilling 14-5, but they can fix this tomorrow. That pitch is in there for a strike. That pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. And Tanner Norman finds himself down the count 1-2. I want to thank Jordan Price for joining us. Also, Ileana Berryhill again for running camera. See who I can have to join me tomorrow. I'm going to text a bunch of people for this. And Norman hits one past the pitcher, but VAR is able to tag in time. Great play by Barnum, I should say, Chongo Barnum. Thanks to there being a force at second. If there wasn't a force at second, then that would be nothing there. That'd be an infield hit, I should say. All right, so now 2 outs to go, and Hutch Russell, the batter for Carl Albert. And Tanner Norman will now be the base runner at first. And Russell takes strike one. I'm going to go and speculate on who we might see for Carl Albert. Someone we haven't seen this regional, but he did come out and play some short stuff for him. And that would be Declan Murphy. I'll be interested to see if he pitches tomorrow for the Titans. No idea who we'll see from Duncan, but they have used up some pitchers these last 2 days. Timeout's called there by Russell or maybe the home plate umpire, so no pitch there. The score is legit. It is Duncan 14, Carl Albert 5. I'm not used to seeing Carl Albert trail like that. And they're down to their final strike for this game as Hutch Russell fouls that off. After 3 innings, Carl Albert led 5-1. And again, 13 straight runs scored by the Demons since then. And Ump does not want to end the game on that. So he calls a ball, which I'm pretty sure it is, but from my vantage point, which is limited, and there's been similar pitches called strike. Of course, you're touching the zone, so it's going to be give and take there. Now the count is 1-2 to Hutch Russell. About to hear the Duncan fans erupt here when they get one more out. And Russell laces one. That's going to drop for a base hit, so he will not be the final out. And the second base runner for Carl Albert. Good job hitting by the Hutch. And now we'll see if Ryan Ray can avoid being the final out here. That first pitch is a strike. Also be interested to see what the weather is like tomorrow. A 1 pitch. Held up there. Ball 1. So I have actually a clear day tomorrow until we get to about 3 p.m. The game's supposed to start at 2, where there's a chance of rain. It's not a strong chance. That's what my weather app says, but maybe your weather app says something different. But that'll be something to follow. And the count now goes 2-1. Again, it's just about for Carl Albert not being the final out. Trying to see what's going on with the Elgin and Altus game. Swing and a miss there, so once again Carl Albert down to their final strike. Right now Noble looks to get the state if they can hold on. They have a 7-3 lead against Bishop McGuinness. No score right now between Altus and Elgin. That's on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and I plan to check that here in a moment. Pitch is fouled off, a BSN Sports foul ball. Last I checked, Elgin has a 3-0 lead. I don't know if that may have been the final. I'm not sure. But neither team is out of it. The loser will play Guthrie tomorrow. That'll be at Elgin. That game will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And that pitch is high for ball 3. So again, if you're Carl Albert, it's about not being the final out. Whatever you got to do to get on base, get on base. That ball is lined to center field. They have a new center fielder, it's Duncan, but it doesn't matter. It's probably Brookshire, and he makes the out and jumps along the wall, and this game is over. We will see you tomorrow at 2, folks. And now the season will be on the line for the Carl Albert Titans, as now we will have a do-or-die game between these teams. Game scheduled for tomorrow at 2. And we will have it for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The players shaking hands. They will see each other again. The coaches also congratulating each other. Tomorrow will be the 5th game for Duncan in 3 days and the 4th game for Carl Albert in 3 days. We'll see what pitchers are available and what players can step up, and let's face it, it's both on offense and on defense. All right, we're going to go through the list of sponsors to thank again. It does look like Elgin has defeated Altus. I'm just not 100% sure about that one. But either way, one of those teams, whoever lost, will be playing Guthrie tomorrow. I don't know what time it is. You'll have to look up an Elgin regional, but it could be around the same time as our game, maybe a little earlier, maybe at noon. And then whoever wins will host the winner between Guthrie and whoever lost. So we could see a team going to state from the Elgin Regional tomorrow, but there's some more games to be played there. Just one game left here, and that again will be tomorrow at 2. All right, how about our player of the game? Brought to you by Louie's. Great place to go right now if you're looking for somewhere to go eat. It's 5, almost 6 o'clock. So a lot of people are going out to eat. You got options here. We want to talk to you about some of those options. One of them is Louie's, and they are our player of the game sponsor, and we thank them for it. Our player of the game is going to be the winning pitcher for Duncan, Brance Garrett. Pitched 6 innings, had 1 rough inning, but otherwise did the job, had the command, got the outs, and got the win, most importantly for Duncan, forcing a decisive game here. We also want to thank Big O's Pork and Dreams for being the instant replay sponsor. One more game with them for sure, as if Carl Albert wins and goes on to state, we will not have an instant replay sponsor after that. I want to thank BSN Sports and Caleb Price. Even if he's golfing right now, we thank him for being the foul ball sponsor. I want to thank Dynamic Health Clinic for being our strikeout sponsor all season. We want to thank Rose State for being our top of the inning sponsor. And another good option to go eat is going to be La Herencia Grill. We want to thank them for being our bottom of the inning sponsor. And also you can go to Big O's right now as well. So if you want barbecue, go to Big O's. Mexican food, go to La Herencia. Or a variety of different food at a good sports bar. They'll have the games on, by the way. Both those other places have TVs. So, but Louie's, good hamburger, good pizza, something like that. Go there. So 3 good options. And we also want to mention our banner sponsor, Super Subs. Now, I believe they're closed right now. Otherwise, but check and see. Go look them up on Google and see if they are. But when you have the chance, be sure to go to Super Subs as well. So we have, if you're looking for a sandwich, that's your place. 4 great eateries that are helping us put the Carl Albert Regional on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And yes, they are closed now. They'll be open at 10 a.m. on Monday. We'll super subs. So, again, I want to thank Jordan Price for joining me. And again, I want to thank Ileana Berryhill for being a great camera operator again. And again, we'll be back on the air tomorrow, hopefully at 1:50. Of course, the game may start a little bit before 2, so just be ready for that. But we'll have it for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Who will go to state? Will it be the defending champ Duncan Demons, or will it be the Carl Albert Titans? Find out tomorrow on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.